I first got interested in aircraft when I was about 14. I'd ride down to Lido Airport on my push bike, watch the Cessnas and Pipers coming and going. I found it very interesting. So I just decided to start collecting aircraft at a later date. I did a bit of flying, did 2 hours, but didn't like the stores at Coldstream Airfield. And then my first plane that I actually purchased was a C-47, which is a DC-free Dakota. But I was too ambitious to get in that. It was 67 feet long and I had nowhere to put it. So I ended up cutting the nose off and scrapping the rest, unfortunately. Then I let it go for a few years because you need room for aeroplanes. Then the second plane I bought was a de Havilland Dove from a scrapman in Footscray. And I had nowhere to put it again. So I had to leave it at my sister's place up at Rushworth. It stayed there for a few years. Then I finally got a property, I've moved a few times, but now I'm currently at Launching Place. Well, I have some interesting aircraft there. I got a F-86D Sabre. It's an American fighter, and it used to fire 18 unguided Mickey Mouse missiles for tank busting. The plane I got from Arizona in the scrapyard there. That's a very interesting place if you go to Arizona. It's 5,000 aircraft, ex-Air Force, where they sell them for parts and sell them to South America, second world countries to want cheap aeroplane for flying. Then I got a couple of Mackie jet trainers, RAF trainers, just retired about 15 years ago. They used as trainers for the pilots for the Air Force and Navy. The Navy had a few of them. And I got 2 of them. One just half complete, like just got the forward fuselage, no tail, because when they get rid of these Mackies, they do battle damage repair and they cut big holes in them so people can't use them or fix them up. And there's a club going now called the 025 Club. They got a Mackie they're restoring to airworthy condition, but mine are far from it, unfortunately. And I got a Polish Istra jet trainer, dual seat, ground attack aircraft. And I've got Beechcraft Queen Air, a nose of a F-28 Fokker Fellowship, a 66 passenger ex-Ansett Airlines jet. And I've got a Vampire, the Royal Australian Air Force trainer. We had 110 of them in our Air Force from the 1950s up to 75, I believe. I have a Rolls-Royce Viper engine out of a Mackie jet that comes out of the Mackie. It does about 600 Ks. It's in good condition. Also got a cutaway of a Mackie, so you can look inside how it works, how the air comes through it, ram air, and you can see how the turbines turn around, all that sort of things. Very interesting for the novice to have a look at. And or the other engine I got is just a Continental out of a Cessna. It's got a couple of holes in it where I blew the piston. That would have given you a fright, wouldn't it, eh? Nowhere to land up there. And that's it as far as engines. I've got quite a few models though, plastic model kits. Display models of from the First World War up to the current jets. So a couple of simulators. Anybody good simulator fixing? I've got 2 simulators that need fixing. There's got computers in there. Is any computer wizards out there? Come out and have a look at it. The Wessex helicopter I have now was donated to the museum at Phillip Island. But they got donated a better one, so this one was spared to their requirements. They took some parts of it, and it's pretty badly corroded because it had an accident where it ditched in the ocean, and it was in the water for about 5 days and got all water through it, so they couldn't really fix it. So they used it as a training aid for apprentices to work on how to fix the wiring and take the plugs out. And in the end, I got it from a scrapyard in Dandenong. But there's a lot of work needed on fixing that one up, I tell you. Yeah, very, a lot of work. But it'll get there. Well, I've got a government aircraft factory Nomad, which was donated to my museum from the Darwin Air Museum. Only one of 150 built. Darwin Air Museum got a better aircraft, so they said, well, you just can't get rid of it. So they donated it to me. It cost me a lot of money to get it from, it was at Picton, New South Wales, at the Sydney Skydiving School, where I did a ground loop and it was deemed unserviceable again. But the wings are still up at Picton, So one day I had to get up there. But there was an interesting story they told me about that government aircraft factory. As I said, Sydney skydiving's got to do a lot of parachuting, and they had a little Japanese woman doing some parachuting. Anyway, she jumped out of the plane and she landed, but they couldn't find her because the parachute dragged her, and she ended up in the engine bay of the Nomad, and they couldn't find her anywhere, looking around, and she was stuck in there. So that was a surprise. And on the outside of the government aircraft factory Nomad, they got some handles. If you don't want to jump, you just hang on there till you land. How's that? Well, the museum's a bit run down now because it's worked by myself and run down, but I think something can be made of it. If you've got enough people interested in it and volunteers to come in once in a while, like a men's shed idea thing, to come by and hands-on, bring your own tools though, and you help me out. That'd be wonderful. See you up there. Say hello to Captain Dick.